everybody, the roads here suck here, and wife unit, and we're here today to talk about how we dealt with that door dinger that we came across in Walmart, how the insurance, their insurance actually came through for us, and why the dash cam was a big help. I did upload a video about that whole instance, I guess you could say. You can probably go watch that, or I'll probably throw it in at the end of this video, but for now we're just going to be talking about it. So let's start from the beginning. Wife unit was driving the car and I was the passenger, and we rolled up to Walmart and we parked next to this silver Chevrolet Trailblazer, right, from 2009 or something like that. And we parked the car and we went inside, and when we got back outside of the store, we saw that somebody had slammed it with the door. They swung their door open so hard that it left about a $50 coin sized dent in the door and took off an inch of paint, and that was on top of the crease of the door. So like the door isn't just completely flat, there's like a crease, like for aesthetic design, I guess you could say, and that part was hit so hard that it actually dented the crease and took off paint.
It was funny, you can see in the video, I didn't realize it until we were watching it back. You pointed it out to me. So I remember we were walking up to the car and he said, "What is that?" Or maybe it was something else. And my first thought was, okay, I was at a different place the other day, it couldn't have been that. And like, oh my gosh, like my car's dented, I didn't realize this. And then I was pissed. You could kind of see it in the video. I was not happy.
So
just my luck.
Speaking of just her luck, though, what she did good, though, was that she had left the dash cam rolling. So we actually got the SD card and we actually reviewed the footage, and we saw that there was like a family of people that came out of the store. They went in between the cars. They hit the car. Well, they opened their car door so hard into our car that our car visibly shook, or it like rocked side to side, I guess you could say, a little bit. It visibly shook the car. And on top of that, the lady had an audible reaction. By audible, I mean, not that you could make out what she said, but she definitely verbally, audibly reacted to that happening. So they swung the door open so hard, they knew it happened because she reacted to it, right? And they just... I
swear in the video you can see her kind of like doing like this, or like... She seemed a little nervous when they were leaving.
I don't think so, but the point is, they got in their car and they left. They drove off. No notes, phone numbers, nothing. They were just like, oh, well, we fucked up their shit, so we'll just leave and they'll deal with it, and it's not our problem. That was their attitude, it seems.
They did have a kid with them. There was a child. And as most of us who have been around children or have children know, kids like to just whip open car doors. So, you know, if they left a note and said, hey, my kid dinged your door, here's my number for insurance, you wouldn't have been really mad. But, because the way she reacted, hearing, you know, I can't make out what she said, but it seemed like she was freaking out. Like, I'm willing to bet anything the child did it. Or she was opening the door and the kid pushed it just that extra little bit. But either way,
see,
you don't hit somebody's car and then drive off.
Accidents or mistakes happen. It's fine. That's what there's insurance for, and it's just how you deal with that, I guess. And in their case, their dealing with it was, fuck it, it's not our problem. So we got home and we were just sort of looking over what happened, and we thought, what do we do? And then we ended up sort of trying to call the police. The thing is, it's not an emergency, okay, but we should get a police report for insurance purposes. So I was trying to look up the phone number for the police department in that municipality in which that happened. And in Pennsylvania, what you get a lot is, you know, individual little police departments, and you have like little phone numbers to them, and some of them have an after-hours non-emergency number, some of them do not. So I called their non-emergency number, and it went to the answering machine. And I wasn't going to call 911 over this because it wasn't an emergency. But they had a website that had a little form that you filled out. So I filled out this form, and I said, you know, I told them what happened at that Walmart, and yeah, the next day, a police officer from that township called me on my cell phone, and he goes, okay, hello, we got your, little internet form file report thing, and I just need to take some information down. So I described the events. He wrote everything down, the license plate, the description of the people, the time this occurred, the location, where the damage was located. How do I know this? I have a dashboard camera, I have proof. And this was all over the phone. We didn't meet in person. And I tell him, and they just drive off. And the next thing he asks me is, do you want to press charges?
Yes.
No. So I basically explained, although I'm grateful for that offer, I thought it would have been a little bit over the top for something that was an accident, I mean, sure, these people were assholes for driving off, but charging them with, I don't know what it could have been, I didn't ask, but probably hit and run type stuff, that's what
they did.
It's just,
He hit my car.
I thought it was a little bit more over the top than it should be, so
I think you would have pressed charges if it was your car.
It wouldn't have been in the spirit of the law, I think. So it's just like, I think that's just a little bit much. Really, what I wanted was for everything to just be put back.
Blood.
For everything to be just put back the way it was, nicey nice, right? No inconvenience to us. Just undo damages. hit the undo button. Fuck, go back. So the officer goes, understandable, no problem. And I said, okay, and I also thanked the officer. I was like, thank you so much for sort of sitting down over the phone with me and taking down all this information and for following up with me and everything, because I know that accident reports are not really fun, I guess you could say. And he goes, oh yeah, no problem, I was at that Walmart once and somebody doored my truck and drove off and I had no way of finding out who it was and getting anything back, and people are just assholes, so don't worry about it, it's my pleasure. So since I did provide the license plate number, the officer actually went into their computer system, found a phone number for the registered driver, called that driver, and asked for their insurance information. So this way I found out their insurance company, their policy number, their name, their phone number, everything, which was very awesome. Then I went to my insurance company and I basically said, hey, this happened while we were away from the car and the car was not on, and we have video of these people walking up and damaging our car and leaving, essentially. Here's their insurance information. Can you file a third-party claim on our behalf? What a third-party claim is when you file an insurance claim with the other driver's insurance. So not through your own insurance, but the other driver's insurance. And our insurance company obliged, which I'm rather grateful for. We'll call her Heather. Heather goes, okay, no problem. I'll reach out to State Farm, whatever that insurance company was, and we will get this thing sort of scheduled and we'll get the ball rolling. And I'm like, okay, that's splendid. Within a day, State Farm opens up a case on their end. They give me a link to submit all my evidence and statements and whatnot, and so I did. I went up on that internet page and I submitted a couple of videos and a statement, and I gave them the description of the vehicle, the police report number, everything, right? And I'll go ahead and I'll play those videos over now on screen. But then we should also... So that's the videos I sent them, and then here are the photos that I sent them. And I just gave them a statement, which was essentially me telling, like how I told you guys what happened, what transpired that day, right? So a couple of days later, I get a call back from State Farm from some guy. Let's just call him Eric, right? Eric goes, "Oh, we've reviewed your statement and your evidence, and we will not be accepting liability for this." And I was like, why would you not? I mean, it's on video. And he goes, "Yeah, but the lady said she doesn't remember anything that happened, and that's why we will not be accepting liability." So at that point, I was telling myself, okay, stay calm. And I was still on the phone, so I said, "So what happens now?" And Eric goes, "Well, if you were to contest this, you would do so through your own insurance company, and at that point, there's a disagreement, so that would go into litigation where a third party would consider the circumstances and they would arrive at some conclusion, which would be what the insurance companies accept, that outcome of that litigation, that is." I said, "Okay, well, thank you." So I then hang up on Eric and I call Heather and I say, "Hey, Heather, this just happened. This Eric guy called me and he basically said they're not accepting liability and that he wants you guys to sort of talk to him and try to get this to litigation and all that stuff." And Heather goes, "That's odd, let me talk to them." The next day I get an email from Heather and she says, "I followed up with them. They're basically saying that they reviewed the evidence and they don't feel that it is conclusive and that the lady says she doesn't remember any of this happening." And I said, "Well, okay, that's strange." So I call up State Farm and I can't get to their claims department. I'm on the phone with some representative and she's, let's just call her Janet. Janet is very sympathetic towards me. She goes, "Yeah, it's a little strange. I opened up this claim and they're basically saying that there's insufficient evidence. And I mean, the way you described it and with these videos, I'm looking at them right now, I see what you're saying. The car is visibly shaking, there's an impact. Perhaps I could transfer you over to them and you could explain step by step what happened, the way you told me, and point at those videos, and maybe they will, change their minds. Just tell them, so I'll tell you what, the roads here suck. I will transfer you to the claims department. And you can start off by telling them that there's a burden of proof issue, and you can talk to them about that. Just tell them exactly what you told me." And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So she starts transferring me over to the claims department, and the call dropped. They hung up on me. I'm guessing that must have been like a technical bug, but a burden of proof issue. That burden of proof issue was the aha moment. That's everything that I needed. So I got out a piece of paper, I drew a diagram of, the parking lot, where the cars were in relation to each other. I sent them the videos. I even had a cropped version of the video focusing on one,
It was a light post.
like a light post, some sort of reference that you could look at and you could see the car physically shaking.
It wasn't a lot, but it was just enough that you could see it.
Yep. I'll put that video up for you guys to see. I'll put that document up for you guys to see on the screen. And I also wrote them a little bit of an email. Let me dig that out for you guys right now. So this is like round 3, I guess you could say. Good evening. Recently, I had called State Farm to follow up on my previous email. The individual I spoke with informed me that the email was received, but that the person who reviewed it noted that they could not see the impact that I had mentioned. The Ford rocked and shook when it was hit with the Chevrolet door. For your convenience, I have uploaded another video. This one shows the moment of impact, and then zooms in on objects of reference, such as a pole and bushes, in order to make it very clear. Please see the link below. Additionally, I have discussed the videos with the individual I was on the phone with. She agreed with the points I made and thought it might be a good idea to get in touch with the claims people and sit down with them and go over the videos. But unfortunately, while I was on hold, the call disconnected. However, I went ahead and created a PDF file, please find attached, that better explains the circumstances, step by step. The PDF also includes a summary in reply to matters at this point in time. Using the video link and PDF in this email, it should now be evident, beyond a doubt, that the occupants of the silver Chevrolet were at the scene of the incident from start to finish, that the Ford had in fact been impacted, that the damage could not have been caused by anything else due to vehicle positioning and type, shape, and the extent of the damage, that it would have been physically impossible for it to have not been the occupants of the silver Chevrolet. If you would like to go over the videos with me step by step, or if you would like to entertain hypothetical scenarios about the damage to the Ford, I'd be more than happy to explain the videos in finer detail or explain why the damage to the Ford could only have been caused by the Chevrolet's door and why it would have been physically impossible otherwise. You may reach me at email or at number. Please note that I am usually unavailable until after 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Sincerely, the Broads here suck. P.S. Additional considerations. The Ford has absolutely no other damage, yet it was most definitely impacted very hard as seen in video 5. The one and only dent, with the removed paint and crease, could only have been caused by the edge of a door and only at that exact point in time. The only people around the cars were the occupants of the silver Chevrolet. For it to have been anyone else, they would have been seen by the rear camera, front camera, or would have had to phased through metal or have been invisible. The passenger audibly reacts to the impact too. There were no trees in the area. The space between the cars was such that you couldn't possibly swing a shopping cart around with enough force to cause that kind of a dent. So yeah, I did lose my patience a little bit, and I was like...
I know you joked about putting that in there, but I didn't know you actually did.
Yeah, so I do know that I did lose my patience a little bit with these guys, and essentially I began going, listen, the only other explanation is fucking aliens, okay? Like, sit down, call me, talk to me, you can give me hypothetical scenarios and I can explain why it's impossible. This is proved beyond a doubt at this point that it's these guys, right? No fucking aliens, no penguins falling from the sky, slamming their beaks into the side of the car, nothing like that, right? And you know what? The next day I get a phone call from State Farm, from Eric, and he goes, well, there's been some additional evidence and we have decided we will be accepting liability. So remember folks, insurance companies only, they're a business, right? They want to take as many premiums from you as possible while paying out as little or as few claims as possible. That's their whole business model. So when you go tell them, hey, this accident happened, they're likely going to go, nah, fuck you, we ain't covering it. But when you sit down and when you sort of lay down the proof and when you stick with them and keep in contact with them, you let them know that one, you're serious, and two, that this is proven beyond a doubt, so if you were to go to court, they would most definitely lose. And I figure at that point, their option is to cut their loss and just pay out, because then they would have to pay out and pay for court otherwise, I guess you could say. So they go, okay, well, you have the right to choose your own mechanic, or you can choose one with us. And I said, I'll just choose one with you guys. Again, I wasn't after, like, trying to be petty or anything. I just wanted things back the way they were. So, yeah, I went with their mechanic. This happened to be a dealership. This dealership happened to offer a lifetime warranty for their work. And because of that, we also get a rental car. The rental car would meet us at the dealership. Like everything.
It was a nice rental.
Yeah, everything was nice and taken care of. So all wife unit had to do was drive to the dealership, which was close by, drop off her car, pick up hop in the rental and go.
No, I did have to go a few days prior to that so they could look at the vehicle.
Oh yeah,
and
to get
assess the damage.
An estimate.
I
right.
told the gentleman who was estimating the story. I said, yeah, this happened. They hit the car. It was a whole thing with insurance. We caught them on camera, but the insurance didn't want to cover it. He laughed. He said, are you kidding me? He said, this dent? They denied it? And it was really nice.
They took care of the car really well. They were very nice and polite. Service was quick. I mean, you had a rental for a couple of days, but it was as quick as it could be.
Yeah, I dropped
right?
it off on, was it Monday or Tuesday? And picked it up on a Saturday. I think so.
Right. So we backed their insurance company into a corner. Their insurance company accepted liability. They paid for the dent repair at a dealership with a lifetime warranty, and they gave wife unit a rental car for the time being. The cost of the repair the cost of the repair of that one dent and the cost of the rental car together came out to just under $1,300.
Are you sure that was the right number?
Yep,
it was more.
It was like 1,277 or something like
I
that.
thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 2,000 something.
1,300.
Well,
It was like the dent repair itself was like 1,026, and the rental car itself was like 200 and I don't remember,
good
but
with
it was
numbers.
but it was something like that. They covered it. It was all said and done. Everything was $1,300 to repair, but of course, no inconvenience to us. We didn't lose any time, didn't lose any days of work, didn't lose any cars.
it was nice. They were really flexible with me having to pick up really early.
They were flexible with pickup times and everything. So we were very well taken care of once the insurance company accepted liability. And yeah, what I will tell you is this: wife unit's dash cam was $77. The repairs of the car were $1,300. The dash cam is still good. So there you have it. That's how this story unfolded. That's how we filed a third-party claim and were successful with getting that insurance company to accept liability. We suffered no cost or inconvenience to us. We were not listed at fault with our insurance. It was all done. It was all taken care of, and a dash cam saved the day. And if you ever get caught in a similar scenario, burden of proof, I guess. You just gotta sell it to them in such a way that they have absolutely no avenue of backing out or denying it. That's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great, wonderful day. Subscribe, like button, subscribe. Anyways, we just wanted to sit down, talk to you guys, potentially help out anybody who needed help.
Moral of the story: buy your wife a dash camera for Christmas.
That too. Dash
Could
cameras
save you
are
a
really
lot
good.
of money. Best Christmas present ever. You did a really good job.
Yep. That is all. Bye-bye.